When Love Kills, the Falicia Blakely story is more than just about a teen mom who becomes an exotic dancer and falls in love with the wrong man. We're going to have a conversation with Tasha Smith and Lil Mama. Stay tuned.
You are tuned in to Black Hollywood Live. Conversations.
Hey guys, we're here at Black Hollywood Live having a conversation with Tasha Smith and Lil Mama. I am your host, Chae Jones. You can find me at Real Chae Jones on Twitter and Instagram. And I am with these amazing ladies. How are you doing today?
Hi.
Good, and you can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Lil Mama.
Mm-hmm. And I am Tasha For Real Smith, right?
Yes, the number 4.
That's on
four.
Instagram, but on Twitter, I'm Tasha Smith For Real. I don't know. Like, somebody stole the Instagram page.
It's just too much going on, but if you are on those pages, follow Tasha
us.
For Real Smith and Lil Mama.
Well, first, it's congratulations to Miss
Thank
Tasha
you.
Smith. This is your first directorial debut, and how does it feel?
You know, I feel so grateful. I feel so blessed. No, I'm very grateful. I'm very blessed. You know, I directed a short film before, and so this is my feature.
Title Boxed In, if you can look it up online and watch it. It's a great
Yes.
watch. I enjoyed it.
Thank you. Thank you. But I feel very grateful that I got a chance to create a piece of art that hopefully will touch people's heart and change people's lives. And, you know, yeah.
So what made you want to do this project? What, spoke to you about it?
Falicia Blakely. My heart went out to her. I'm from the urban community, and, I grew up in the hood, honey. I was at the strip club. I knew the pimps. I, hung out in the streets, and I know that my life could have taken a different path. And when I think about Falicia and the fact that she were influenced by the wrong people, and, she was very vulnerable, and she ended up in jail, in prison for the rest of her life. And I ended up here. And by the grace of God, I didn't make decisions that I would now be paying for the rest of my life, And that story, it just talked to me because my heart goes out to the young Felicias of the world.
I actually didn't know. I found this out today that you used to be a stripper.
I wasn't good, though. I wasn't good, honey. I could barely spin on a pole. Okay.
Literally, just walking around.
No, really, okay? If I didn't have big titties and a big booty, honey, I would not have made it, okay? And I definitely wouldn't have made it today.
Actually, I don't know why I feel like that should be false. I feel like you'd have been a great...
I wasn't really that good.
She had so much personality that she
I
was
made
able to
people
get that
laugh.
money. She made them laugh.
Trust me, I made them laugh more than I got them hot.
Right. Good way of saying it, because I was going to say something else.
Well, if you could describe Falicia, playing the role of Falicia in one word, how would you describe
Oh, naive.
her character?
Good.
Yeah.
What made you want to be a part of this project? Because you said you never thought you were going to, want to play an exotic dancer.
Oh, yeah, man. I wanted to do it because it's a form of ministry. I knew that I know for a fact that when I have conversations with my peers and with young people who are very, I'm blessed to have this level of communication where I can speak to a 2-year-old and get all the information I need about what's going on in their lives. Seriously, I can communicate with anybody, especially young people and my peers. But one thing that I have noticed is that, it's fine, that when a young person or a peer feels like I can't relate to them, they shut down. A part of them shuts down, like, you just wouldn't understand. And then it's like, wait, but talk to me. What do you mean I just wouldn't understand? And it's like, well, you're living this life. You came from the ghetto, but you're a celebrity. You're in Hollywood. People love you. People know you, and you don't have to deal with what I'm dealing with. And they feel like there's this disconnect. And I feel like with but being an actor, I get to tell a story and show people that I do understand, because the same pressures that young women are under when they're in these situations, being mentally manipulated or physically abused, these were all the things that I actually encountered, because it was a method acting. It wasn't just, oh, I'm saying lines to get a point across. No, I had to suffer, mental abuse and physical abuse, and have a paper towel thrown at me, and have my face plucked, and have someone attempt to smack me and abuse me throughout the film. And there were a lot of exhausting days, but I know that that was a sacrifice that I needed to make in order to help deliver people afterwards.
Yeah. Can I ask you a question? Because I thought about something, and I never got a chance to really ask because we were so deep in the scene. But that scene when you had to stand in the corner and Lance's character threw that paper towel at the back of your head, like, how did that make you feel?
I already felt low when I was told to stand in the corner, because that's something you tell a child to do, like when you're disciplining a child. And even to a child, that's a mean form of discipline, to stand in a corner and just look at a corner. So I felt really low, and even though I knew it was in the script and he was going to say it, it made me feel down. And then when that paper came to my head, when that thing hit my head, I was just like, and he's like, stop crying. I was hurt, and I felt alone because you guys went into the other room to like watch the monitor. I felt alone. I felt hurt. I felt hopeless. And and I know that just that little portion of what people deal with sometimes every day in a relationship, where somebody's beating them up and tearing their self-esteem down, it was so hurtful that I would not be able to endure that for even a day.
What I've found amazing about this is because you and your Felicia's character and Dino's character kept referring to themselves as Bonnie and Clyde, and in my head I'm thinking they died. Why would you want to be the next Bonnie and Clyde so you can end up just like them?
I think that, and it's interesting that you asked that, because someone else asked about another character in the movie, and how, this guy said, as I grew up, I've always wanted to be the villain that, was in the movie, and I never really got the message of wanting to do better. I always wanted to be the villain. And, Tasha gave him some advice and was just saying, the way you can help by not being the villain, or help young people not want to be the villain, is by giving them the answers, giving them the guidance that they actually need, right? And that's why I'm so happy that Tasha's the director, that Tammy played my mom, Lance played Dino, and I played Falicia, because we are all standing for the greater good. We all follow God. We all follow the Lord strongly. We walk in faith and not by sight. And by taking these roles and taking on the task of directing this movie, I'm sure it was, like I said, it was a form of ministry, for us to do it, because we know we can help people come out of it. And when you think of the ignorant mindset, when you think of someone who wants to murder, steal, or be a part of prostitution, I don't even mean to say want to, because sometimes people end up in situations because of desperate measures. I need money to take care of my child. I need money so I can be on my feet, so I can have a place to live. This is how we gonna do it. And you wind up coming up with this hustle. I think that the first thing you go to is someone that was brave enough, in the most destructive way, was brave enough to accomplish the thing that you're trying to accomplish in that moment. And when the love has that much fire as it had, it doesn't matter whether you die together, because it's about riding together and dying together. When you're in that mindset, you're not thinking of it as, oh, well, they died. You're thinking of it as, whether we die, we're going to die anyway. Let's do it together. And I think that, as actors, we had to take on that mindset and be true to it. Because if we judge the characters and say, well, this is not right, these people die in the end anyway, we should be righteous and think about it from this standpoint, I think that we would have been just like a lot of other cheesy actors of today, who just read lines and they're very like cardboard type of figures, and they're not putting any soul and emotion into the characters. So I think that's why Dino and Falicia refer to Bonnie and Clyde, because it is a risk that you take, and it does show how passionate you are about each other to refer to someone, to refer to a couple such as Bonnie and Clyde, who does die in the end.
What I loved about watching it is such an intensity. There is an intensity to watching this film, and you captured it. Like, no matter, even when you were vulnerable, like, I felt there was an intensity. And I want to thank you so much. You did such an amazing job in capturing that moment.
Thank you.
More than anything else. And there's so many themes, but one of the biggest things for me is that love can make us blind, can make us stupid. And it's something your character said that I wrote down because I had to, and it was just amazing. You said he finds he can treat her any kind of way as long as he still acts like he wants her. She ain't going nowhere because it ain't about the love. She just doesn't want to be alone. And Sally, that's so true for so many women. They just don't want to be alone. Mm-hmm. And for me watching it, it made me think you need to love yourself. One of the lessons I learned was you need to love yourself before you try to get into a relationship to love somebody else.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And I also think that it's easier said than done, because I had a father in my life who loved me, who treated me like a princess. When it was my birthday, I would receive necklaces and bracelets and rings, earrings that I would lose all the damn time, but nonetheless, he bought them. Took me out to dinner, showed me how special I was. But the times when my brothers would find themselves having girlfriends and kind of going outside a lot, because we spent most of our time together, my brothers and I. We whether we was fighting or we was going to an event, playing manhunt, sitting on the stoop, chilling, talking. When the time came that they had these girlfriends, a part of me became lonely, and I wanted a boyfriend. I wanted my own life because I felt like everybody else had theirs. And so now when you think about someone like myself who had all of this attention from a father figure and then 2 older brothers and a brother right under me all the time, constantly in my face and in my circle, and then now that they're gone for like days or weeks or months with these girls, and I want that. Imagine the young woman who doesn't get any attention from a man, who doesn't have a father in their life, and now they come of age and there's this guy loving up on them like, I love you, I got your back, you need something, I'm gonna make sure you have it, and things like that. It comes a time when now, and one of the ladies from the domestic violence center was saying, the man doesn't walk into your life and say, hey, you know what, I'm going to love you for 3 months. And then after that, I'm going to start putting you down. And then 6 months later, I just might get a little physical with you and start smacking you up. No one says that. It just happens. So now imagine, now, you know what I'm saying? So now imagine.
No, that's real. They're not gonna meet you and tell you, I'm an asshole. You know what I mean?
It's about to go down,
right?
Like no. And so I feel like as a woman that needs that type of love,
right.
Once a man that starts unfolding, which is why me and Tasha had to talk about vulnerability in character. I needed to be vulnerable, and I needed to feel how it feels to be a woman who loves someone so much and feels like someone has protected me, not only just me, but my daughter that came from another man who left me, abandoned me, hurt me, destroyed a part of me, and being able to love again. And now this man, my daughter's calling him daddy, and he's protecting me, he's making me money, he's showing me a good time. The moment when whether it's a headbutt or a smack or a push or a shove, I'm going to think that everything he's doing is out of love.
Yeah. Let's talk about that headbutt, though, because I don't know why I wasn't expecting it, because it was like such a still moment. And then right before it happened, I kind of moved away because I was just like, I wasn't expecting. You swayed, I swayed. That was intense. How are you feeling for that scene?
I mean, that was so technical.
That scene was really technical.
It was so technical.
And I'll just say this really quickly before Tasha speaks really quickly. That wasn't even, and I just said this the other night to one of my friends, that was not the hardest scene to record. It was technical and it was easy. We got it done so fast. But when it showed on that screen, I think that was the hardest part to watch.
To watch, it's so true. I mean, it's so true. We were rushing that day. We didn't have a lot of time because, of course, we shot the movie in 12 days. So, we had to move fast and get what we needed quickly. Okay, so I think that scene happened so fast that we all didn't know what happened. We just was like, I hope I got it. Okay.
You got it.
Yeah, good. We worked with an amazing stunt coordinator
as
well.
Mark Hicks.
Yeah, and Tasha was very adamant about me getting in there and making sure, because, we had to work as a team. Lance came in a few days after I already started recording. So what happened was Tasha made sure I got in with the stunt coordinator. And
didn't we say after the movie airs, we're gonna release just your stunt work tape? Yeah. Can we please, I'll let you post it first, and then I'm gonna post it. Honestly, the whole her rehearsal with the stunt coordinator. Why I'm crazy, because I was watching it and then I was laughing because it was
it's funny though.
And then he's got these sound effects. I was like, oh my God, if we could capture what she just did in that rehearsal on camera, that is going to be amazing. It was hilarious.
My father
do you still have it?
I don't know. I think I do.
I got it. I'll send it to you if you don't.
Oh my God, so funny. That was a highlight for sure.
There's so much I love about this film. Most of it is the realness. The realness you kept of her telling her story, and in that sense, just I love the scene between your character and Tammy's character playing the mom, and that last scene before you decided to go. It was just like, I'm sorry I made you end up like me.
Wasn't that sweet?
Yeah, that was deep.
It was so deep, because I've had similar. I wish my mom had said that to me, like because you see things as when you're a kid, you only see things with I say kid glasses, and then as you get older, you evolve and you can say, okay, you can see both sides, but you wish like your mom said, I'm sorry. At least that much.
And that's great. I'm glad you got that out of it, because that's what I wanted people to feel. That was my intention there. I was like, for anybody that needs to say I'm sorry and anyone that needs to hear it, I want this moment to be for them.
It was a great moment.
Perfect.
And I wish Lance was here only because I want to ask him the trolls that are going to come in on after Monday after they watch this film, because he did such a great job. And that's how you know you did a good job.
Yeah,
I can't wait.
Me either.
I can't wait, because guys, this seriously, it's intense, but I felt so much for Falicia in this. Most because before I didn't even know about Falicia Blakely. Maybe because I'm just a little younger and I just didn't know.
I didn't either.
Yeah, some people don't know. I think a lot of people in Atlanta and everybody around that city knew, because the news, that was a big story in the news. So I ran into some people even in DC and North Carolina, Virginia area who knew, because it was Atlanta and anything right over there, they knew what was going on, because that was a big story.
And I felt bad. I feel bad for her, because she was naive. She was impressionable. And he saw that, that one thing he could exploit. Love.
Exactly.
Love can be exploited. In younger, what I want young girls when they see this to realize, you can be a Falicia. Don't.
Please.
And on Lance's behalf, I just wanted to say that this is the film that he's most excited about out of all the work that he's ever done in his career. He feels like Tasha believed in him and gave him a platform to do something that he hasn't been able to do, because people haven't been as special and as great as Tasha to be able to see something more in him outside of playing the nice guy and you get hired to do one thing and then someone says, oh, that's great. I have an idea. But really, they don't have an idea. They just want you to come in and play the same guy they just saw you play. And then they don't, So when Tasha called him and said, I have an idea, this was really an idea.
Funny. So, they didn't have an idea. They just want you to come in and play the same person they just saw you play.
Right.
No,
someone else just
which
did
is
that too.
Kind of problem, I would say a little bit in Hollywood. They try to typecast.
Yeah, basically.
And I love we're starting to break that mold.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. I had to try to break that mold for myself.
No, but you're brave. Tasha's brave, because she hired people that she knew could handle it. And by hiring Lance, she hired someone that people could have easily been like, Tasha, what are you doing? Why are you hiring Lance Gross to play the villain? He's the nice guy. And maybe she did have to hear that. But, her intuition and her faith and him and then God helped her to choose somebody that she truly believed in inside. No one kind of helped her figure that out. So that makes her a very special person, I think. And there's not too many special people in Hollywood.
That is real. That's some real talk. Let's be honest about that.
You're welcome.
I was gonna ask, did you handpick everybody for this film?
I handpicked Lance. I handpicked Floyd Mayweather, Tiffany Black, Big Frida, Walter Fauntleroy, Don Wallace.
Most everybody.
Yeah. And I got to tell you, the best thing for me in this movie, seriously, because it wouldn't have worked if we wouldn't have had this one right here, to be able to really, really portray Falicia Blakely in the vulnerable, authentic way that she did. She made her very relatable. People understood her pain. They empathize with her because of what she gave to this character. So it's really, I can't wait for people to see her work. I'm telling you, it's, because I even know, and she knows too, I'm sure, because people think they have your number, just like they think they got my number. They think all I am is the chick that played Angela in all the Tyler Perry movies. You know what I mean? They think that's all I am.
Which is
right?
a lie.
I'm saying, but they do. They think they have my number. Yeah. People thought they had Lance's number, right? People thought they had her number. And even in talking about the movie to people, and I even said this when they were like, Little Mama is playing Falicia. I was like, Little Mama? Like, how did that happen, you know? Oh my God, like I can't imagine anyone other than her playing this role. And talking to friends and like, oh yeah, Little Mama's playing Falicia Blakely. They like, Little Mama? The lip gloss girl? Like, how's she gonna play that? I mean, people get confused because they think they got her number. They're like, she was good in TLC, but...
She was
right?
And that was the highest
Let me
rating
I put
movie
it
that
like
year.
this. If you think she was good in TLC,
She kills it.
I'm gonna say this, and I can say this because I know it to be true. That was nothing compared to what she does in this movie.
Like, you do very, like, you from... What I found interesting is, like, it was a scene where, like, you gonna manage, and you, like, just beat that girl with that...
Remember when
Oh
we
my
were doing that
gosh.
scene when I directed that scene?
Yes.
Like, that scene was crazy because it was roaches crawling everywhere.
Seriously?
I
We were
mean,
really in the
God, it
trizat.
was like roaches
Oh.
crawling everywhere. Even in that kitchen, like, I remember the art design people and props, they were in there, like, beating roaches in between the scenes off the wall.
Please talk about another part. Talk about the scene.
But the scene, I wanted her to feel animalistic. You know, I wanted her she needed to prove to him in such a way that she loved him and she was willing to go as far as she needed to go. I just wanted her to kind of turn into a monster, you know,
She turned into
to prove to him that she could manage.
that was crazy.
And she did.
I was like, kind of took a step back. I'm like, okay, I don't know. I feel like you felt vindicated as Falicia in that moment after you came back. He's like, come over here, bring your sexy stuff over here.
Right, and all that happened. Like, she got rewarded.
Right.
You know, that was
For
what it
being a
was about. She
monster.
got rewarded. Because he clapped for her, remember?
Yeah.
Before we head out, we're gonna play a trailer really quickly to show everybody what they have to look forward to on Monday.
Okay.
Love you. Ain't no man ever tell me that before.
Someday he'll come along,
What's your name, beautiful?
the man I love,
Baby, you one of the baddest chicks in the game.
and he'll be big and strong, the man I love.
Somebody at the club say you be tricking girls.
I don't make them do nothing they don't want to do.
I'll do my best
Let's make it happen.
We'll be working together.
Like Bonnie and Clyde.
He'll look at me and
sis.
smile,
Take this.
Praise the Lord.
and know it's
You're making us get there at 6. So we can just get there when it's over.
Felicia, I love you.
I love you too.
Guys, that is When Love Kills coming on TV1 Monday, August 28th. You have to tune in, and I want to just wish these ladies all the nominations and all the wins you're going to deserve because it is amazing. Again, I am Chae Jones. You can find me at Real Chae Jones on Twitter and Instagram. And ladies,
I'm Natia, Lil Mama Kirkland, and you can find me at Lil Mama. That's at LILMAMA.
And you can get me on Instagram at Tasha for Real Smith and on Twitter, Tasha Smith for Real.
thanks guys for tuning in.
Thank you.
Watch it. Trust me.
Bye.
From executives Keven Undergaro, Dario Kristen, Tiana Hobson, and the entire BHL staff, we would like to thank you for supporting Black Hollywood Live, the first online broadcast network dedicated to African American entertainment. For questions and comments, contact us. info@blackhollywoodlive.com. Like us on Facebook, tweet us, or Instagram us at BHL Online. And I am the official voice of Black Hollywood Live, Scipio, Instagram me at KingXOBay. Thanks for tuning in. The views expressed here are those of the host only and do not necessarily reflect the views of BHL or its owners or principals.